Look along the path here. This is a great place for salamanders right here. They're usually pretty, this is kind of a time of year when they're not so easy to find, but let's see, they love this, this water. Here's one here. It's kind of sluggish, he's in the water. There's a number of different species of salamanders in this particular region with slightly different coloration in each case. Notice that this guy's living in a coloration that matches him.
Yeah.
And they tend to, all the different color variations tend to move to rocks where they just blend right in. He's looking at you there. Say hi. Wave. Let's put the little guy back where he wants to be. There we go. This place is teeming with life. You've got obviously the water, and it's because of the water that there's more diversity of life than you would normally see. But you've got the algae that's growing in the water, the slimy stuff. You've got inside the water you will find, we can't see it, but there will be all sorts of bacteria. There will be microorganisms that are eating the bacteria. You've got these leaves that have fallen down into this area from, sorry about that little guy, the leaves that have fallen down from the trees. And you have within the leaves, you've got fungi that's decomposing the leaves and producing nutrients. The fungi are specially designed to take that material of the plants, to break it down and leave, not only have enough for them to eat, but again, in that mutualistic sense, they put nutrients back into the water, which become nutrients for other plants. You've got every single kingdom here. You've got the full disparity of life. So the God of creation is a God of life. He wants us to see life, but his life is invisible. We can't see it, but he wants us to understand it. So I believe he's created illustrations of his nature. He's put life into physical organisms that we can see, so we have some sense of what life is, and then he's filled the creation with it, so we see life all about us. And then all those attributes of God, he wishes to show the relationship among the members of the Godhead, the mutualism that exists there, where each member of the Godhead loves and interacts with each other member of the Godhead. So he puts mutualism in among these organisms. So we have organisms here that are working together to develop this community of organisms. You see it just here in a few square feet, but it's a picture of what is true across this planet.
So the whole notion of relationships are sourced in the very nature of God, who has been in relationship for all eternity. And it looks like he's built a whole creation filled with these vital divine relationships.
And we're only scratching the surface on understanding these things. We've only just begun to understand how many of those relationships there are. We know there's many more, there's plenty of room for people to do more work.
So this is what excites you about science, isn't it?
It's part of what excites me. I mean, I don't understand how people can't get excited. Well, I guess it's the way I've been designed, but this is incredible. This is beautiful. It's got, there's so much here going on that maybe that's part of what excites me. People see one thing and I see so much more. And that's what science is. You see one thing, but the scientist digs in and sees something that no one else has seen before. And there's so much more. There's so much more to be found here. So look at this little guy. We've got, whoops, don't want to hurt him. Got a little caterpillar here. Oh, I got him dirty. There we go, got to pet him. So we got a caterpillar here. What an amazing thing God has created with that, the process we call indirect development, where an organism, when it is birthed or hatched out of an egg, looks extremely different than its adult form. Seems to go through two different life forms. Like in this case, you've got something that looks like, it is a caterpillar for a certain part of its life, eats a certain type of food for the duration of that, and then goes into a cocoon and comes out as a completely different kind of organism, a butterfly or a moth. And during that process, it's in that pupa. The easy way to do this, you would think, is just to grow wings and legs and this sort of thing. So you'd think you just grow the legs out, grow the antenna out from where the, but no, it appears all of the tissue of this thing really, it seems to dissolve, and the cells restructure themselves into a completely different kind of organism. In fact, if you saw them, separately,
He took a dive here.
I think he's all right.
Okay.
If you looked at them separately, you would think they're actually different species of organisms instead of two different stages. It's incredible design, a beautiful, perhaps even a little bit of a picture of how he wishes to transform us. We don't look so pretty before we come to know him, and he's able to take that broken life and make a spectacular, beautiful life out of it in his time and in his way.
This is what Paul is talking about, that when we then are transformed, that will be like a seed that becomes something different. So there's a deep transformation there.
Yeah, an acorn doesn't look much like an
exactly
oak.
right.
It's like having two different organisms, two different stages of life. And again, the transformation, humans are the same way. We are fully human from the moment of conception all the way through life, because God sees us for who we are, not what we do.
It's one of those deep questions, is why does God care about man? What is man that thou art mindful of?
What is man that thou art mindful of him in Psalm 8? Thou hast made him a little lower than the angels and has crowned him with glory and put all things under his feet. He's made us rulers of the universe. He's the one that deserves to be ruler of the universe. He's the one that created all those things. He's the one who merits the rulership. But he created it knowing, intending to pass the rulership off to these things. He said, let us make man after our likeness in our image and let them have dominion. He passed it off to us. And it's an awesome opportunity. And it's part of what being a scientist is actually, to understand the creation enough to properly rule over it. If we're rulers, we're supposed to take care of those things we're ruling over. We're supposed to serve those things that we're ruling over. How do we take care of something we don't understand? Science is a means of better understanding our creation, so that God's creation, so that we can serve Him by meeting the needs of that creation. And that's another fascinating application of science. In order for us to be rulers, we've got to do science to understand those things that are made.
It's like the farmer. If he doesn't understand wheat or corn or sorghum or whatever it is that he's growing, he's probably not going to make a very good farmer.
That's right. That's right.